All right, folks, back to work. Well, pretty darn good day today. Got that beautiful double bottom reversal we talked about in last night's video, but they couldn't hold the bounce this afternoon. We've rolled over now into the closing bell. The sellers look like they've got all of the momentum. And boy, we have a ton of clues, signals in the charts right now that are telling us where the market wants to go tomorrow, and most importantly, how we can make some money before we get there. So this might be the most important video of the week. We have a lot to cover in tonight's video. I want to make sure you guys have a roadmap to make some money on Friday morning and finish the week with some more green. So enough of the intro. Charts look fantastic as always here tonight. Let's go into it and get ready for Friday's trading session. S&P and SPY is all ready to go. Nasdaq, triple Qs are all ready. I have 4 very important clues right now on the charts in front of us that I think are telling me where the winning trades are waiting for us tomorrow. One of those clues is right here on the hourly charts. It does look like the 60-minute time frames are starting to range out here right now. Big clue, first big clue here, the charts right now. Big move up, big move down, big move up, big move down. Usually big moves back and forth mean there's a range happening, and those ranges love to rotate back and forth, don't they? Look at the Nasdaq. Nasdaq is definitely holding up a bit better right now, but big move up, big move down, big move up. It seems like this Nasdaq might be trying to roll over and create a one big range as well. And this makes sense, doesn't it? We got Trump taking office in mid-January. Markets might be a bit nervous regarding the tariffs he's promised. So this makes sense. But of course, one very big clue here on the hourly charts. I've got 3 more important clues though on some tick charts. The tick charts are screaming at us right now. We're going to grab those tick charts in a moment. Before we do that though, let's check schedule for tomorrow. There's no major news tomorrow, but 2 things for you. Tomorrow's a Friday. My mindset on a Friday morning is always to get in as early as possible when liquidity's good and my discipline is good, and I want to leave a runner on Friday afternoon. So early in, as early as I can get when the getting's good, but I always try to leave a runner on Friday afternoons because go back and see for yourself. Markets love to run on Fridays into the close. Also be aware too, I've talked about this all week this week. Tonight's newsletter video is the final newsletter video of the year on this YouTube channel. We'll take a few weeks off around the holidays. We'll come back on Monday, January the 6th. As always, I'll keep working hard each day. All the SOT students here at School of Trade, but I will miss you guys over the holiday and wish you all a very happy holiday season. Let's get back to our charts though, because the money is made on the charts. We got one more big day coming tomorrow morning. I mentioned earlier we got a big range brewing here on the S&P. Looks like a range brewing here right now on the Nasdaq. That's one really big clue, but I got a couple more big clues here. Let's grab some tick charts right now. Now, tick charts are based on volume. They make pattern recognition a lot easier. So much easier to read tick charts than they are to read time charts. All the time frames, by the way, if you're watching for the first time right now, upper left-hand corner, that is the 7,000 tick chart here on the S&P. And if you're wondering, that is the 21 EMA, by the way. That's the only indicator I use each week to find lots of winning trades. There are 3 more important clues right now on these tick charts. One of those big clues here, I know it's a couple days ago, but do you recall that big strong move down we saw on Tuesday afternoon? We talked about this a few days ago. Remember, strong moves, they love to retest. That's one big clue. That is unfinished business. Those buyers get a nice boost from that CPI report. That big low down there is looking pretty lonely right now. That is one big clue here on the tick charts right now. Another big clue, arguably the most important clue right now, bear market into a trading range. We are rotating off the high of that range. And what do you see? We've broken through that pendulum swing. A break below that pendulum swing usually means now a breakout pullback is coming shortly thereafter. That's a very big clue here on the tick charts. And another very big clue here is this grinding price action, right? As it kind of pops and grinds down right now. You know, I should have mentioned this last night on the video. We talked about that deep two-legged pullback. Anytime we see markets kind of pop and grind, it's very difficult to stop that momentum until they retest that low here. I should have mentioned that last night on the video. I I can't cover everything on these videos. Should have mentioned that last night. I apologize for not going one step further in last night's video, but a lot of bearish momentum right now, and that big move down from last Tuesday afternoon is just begging to get retested. So my vision on this chart right now is basically to look for a breakout pullback as we make our way back down to retest the low. Now, knowing that, there are a lot of different ways in which we can trade this on the long side, the short side, to make some money on this tomorrow. In fact, I see 4 pretty easy trades to look for right now. Later on in the video tonight, I want to cover some bonus trades because it's been wild lately, back and forth. So we'll cover a few more bonus trades a bit later on, just in case things get a bit wacky tomorrow into the end of the week here. Now, first things first, as we go lower, I don't want to sell low down here, right? We know where the market wants to go. It wants to take out that big 39 3/4 low. It's looking lonely down there from Tuesday afternoon. I don't want to chase after it. I don't want to sell low here. So how do you sell as high as you can right now? It's always going to be one simple pattern. It's a lower low in price, above that high, strong red candle closing back below that 21 EMA. These are basically bull traps, right? They're bull trap patterns here as we keep grinding down. So one trade as we're going lower is a bull trap pattern. Now at this point, I would love to look left here, use the underbelly of that range for a breakout pullback. Now, very difficult to pick a bottom on this one. Lot of momentum, difficult to pick a bottom on that. I'll talk about how to pick that bottom a bit later on in the video. What I like right now though is I'd love to get that bounce up. I would love to get basically a bull trap up here, right? Trap the buyers in, let them try once, let them try twice. Why twice? Because now if those buyers, if they get caught buying into that area of resistance, their stops are sitting right there. I'd love to use a failure into another one of those bull trap patterns, right? That lower low in price and a move right above that high, okay, on the way back down. Now, once we go back and retest that high, this is definitely where buyers should be looking for that bounce off of that low. I can't pick the bottom on this, right? I'm not going to blindly buy that area down here, but if I'm lucky tomorrow, what'll happen is we'll take out that low. We'll see some rookie bears chase after it. We can squeeze their stops, what I call a failure pattern. 1 try, 2 try. Think about this. If you're caught short into that low, into that double bottom right there, and you get stopped out, only way out is to buy your way out. These oftentimes will get nice and juicy, running higher. Now, whenever we rotate back to the highs here, the market wants to take out that high right there. How do we add on? We always add on with, in this case, it's going to be bear trap pattern combination. This sequence is what I've been looking for. We might get all of them. We might get only 1 or 2 of them, but this is the vision I have for tomorrow. On the way lower, it's always going to be a bull trap. I want to sell as high as I possibly can. Then, again, I'm not a big fan of picking the bottom over here. There'll be a lot of momentum going lower. Tough to pick that bottom. I will talk about that later on in the video, though, for all you more aggressive traders out there. I love the idea, though, of using the underbelly of that range. In the free video classes, I call this a failure pattern, a 2-try failure. We're not going to pick a top on that. Trap the bulls in, sell into their stops, and then add to your winners. Remember, if you want to make more money, add to your winning trades. An easy way to add to your winners is to add on, with in this case, it's a trap. Remember that lower low in price and that trap entry right above that high. Then once we retest that low, think about this. Anybody who sells short up here, their profit targets are going to be where? Down around those lows. This is where sellers become buyers down there. That is a horrible spot to be a seller. And because of that, it's a great spot to trap in some rookies and squeeze some stops here. Again, this would be a 2-try failure, 2 tries because I want to trap those bears in, squeeze those stops. And then again, as we make that run higher, we add to our winning trades. I want that higher high in price. That is a technical bear trap like I teach in the free video course. Remember, take some profit off at that high, leave that runner on a Friday afternoon. Boy, I love that sequence. Basically a breakout pullback into a double bottom. We're reversal. Now, I have a couple more variations of these I want to talk about. Before we do that though, let's slow down for a second because we've got a lot so far in this video. I know most folks watching right now, you know these patterns already. You're making money with these already. But if you're here for the first time right now, this might be a brand new language for you, a brand new strategy. But don't you worry, I teach the entire system. In fact, I have hundreds of examples of failure patterns, trap patterns, two-legged pullbacks, breakout pullbacks. I cover so much more of this in our free video classes. I'll put a link up top here for you. Don't you worry. Upper right-hand corner, grab that link that popped up there and take that free trading course because the strategy I teach in that short video series will teach you a simple trick we use in our members trade room that tells us exactly where the winning trades are going to be each morning. More importantly, though, I want to teach you my 4 favorite entry setups so you can time better entries, make a lot more money. Guys, bottom line, the markets are way too good right now not to be making consistent profits. So if you're tired of missing the best entries each day, if you've lost your confidence, your current trading strategy, again, hit that link that popped up there. Take that free video course. Everyone loves all the trade examples I include in that short video series. The best part is it's 100% free. And don't forget too, guys, I'm going to put all the important links you need to learn more about this stuff in the description of the YouTube video. Definitely start first on the free video classes. Everyone loves the free video course. Most folks start making money on their own with that free video course. And then don't forget, the place to be each morning is in our trade room, 8 o'clock Eastern time. I'll put trade room membership links down there for you. And if you're on Twitter or X, I post a ton of charts, videos, mindset stuff on Twitter X. If you're on Twitter X, give me a follow. You'll love that feed. Again, all the details you'll need to learn more, hopefully earn a lot more, are linked up in the description of this YouTube video. So where do we go next? Let's talk about some variations of this for tomorrow. You know, for example, tomorrow's a Friday. We may end up going sideways tomorrow. Now, in all reality, a sideways range is almost a gift to us traders tomorrow because ranges, they love to rotate. So if we start going sideways tomorrow, a lot of this game plan stays the same. I just want to remind you that ranges love to rotate, right? Like back over here, right? They love to rotate back and forth. So I'm going to wait for a bounce up, trap those bulls in, right? Sell into those stops and run back down. Again, as always, add to my winners with a bull trap going lower. But here's where things get different. Where does the market want to go now? It wants to rotate, right? The amount above, the amount below, it wants to take out that pendulum swing. That's a really, really good spot for a final target. So if things change a bit and they go sideways here overnight or tomorrow, again, you know, I have no crystal ball for tomorrow. I don't know what tomorrow will bring. All I know is where the highest percentage trades are with what I know right now, right? So if we do go sideways tomorrow, bull traps with a high, basically buyer failure patterns into that technical bull trap as we go lower. And please promise me, leave a runner. If there's one situation where you need to learn to let trades run, it's during range rotation because it's almost a guaranteed winner as it rotates going lower there. So be aware of that. Also, one more variation too here. You know, we've been really wild lately, haven't we, right? Big move down, big move up, big move back down here. What if we crank going higher here? There's no way to buy this. There's no easy way to buy this at this point. What am I going to do? Buy a pullback right there? No. The risk reward ratio there is dog crap. You can't buy that. So if that's not a good place to be a buyer, how do we sell it? We trap the buyers in, right? It's a great spot for a bull trap. If we wind up jumping higher here, the first thing I'll do is start drawing trend lines, right? Across those highs like that, mark up the amount below, the amount above, right? That'll be some more key levels of resistance up overhead. I'm not going to pick the top on this, but I would love to let this thing pull back and patiently wait for those buyers to wrap that rope right around their neck, chase it higher, 1, 2. Remember, if you're caught long, you get stopped out. Yeah, it's easy pickings for the sellers here. Sell right into those stops, and then where's it want to go now? You know where it wants to go. It wants to rotate all the way back down again. Add to that winner with, as always, we always add on. It's always failure patterns first and trap patterns for the add-on. Failures at the edges, traps as it rotates. Failures at the edges, traps as it rotates, right? Say it with me, right? The sooner you learn that, the better you'll be and start making money out there. And again, leave that runner all the way down. Those lows here, that's where the market is going to want to go. We've talked about now that breakout pullback. I love that game plan. if you go sideways, and if we do see a big bounce going higher here. The hard part right now, though, is picking that bottom. Not an easy one because, again, that big move down, and we talked about this earlier this week, right? The buyers got bailed out by that CPI. That CPI report bailed them out. That was going to easily retest that low if you watch the videos earlier this week. So that low is just begging to get taken out right now. Wouldn't be surprised if it does that pretty quickly at some point tomorrow morning. Let's grab Nasdaq, though, because I'll tell you, Nasdaq is definitely the wild card right now. The Nasdaq is definitely holding up a bit better. I thought we thank AI for that. We had a lot of headlines this week from Google and Apple, and a bunch of AI developments came out kind of all of a sudden here this week. Now, a lot to cover on the Nasdaq. Before we dive into the Nasdaq, though, if you're enjoying this video right now, please help me grow this channel by hitting that like button, subscribing, and share this video link with other trading buddies if you would, because YouTube rewards me every time you like and subscribe. I know we're busy people, and I appreciate you guys coming in, tuning in, spending a few minutes with me every evening here on these videos. So thank you so much for the likes, subscribes, all the ongoing support. I feel the love I get here on the YouTube channel. So thank you so much for the support there. Now, let's get talk about Nasdaq, how we can make some money on the NQ. Now, again, the Nasdaq does feel like big move up, big move down, big move up. One of the many clues we look for in our trade room each morning is anytime we see big moves in both directions. Now, at this point, the buyers have all that momentum. They really should be trying to retest that high here, but with the S&P kind of weighed down right now, they may hold and come back to retest the high here, but it does feel like right now, it feels like we're trying to make one big range. And again, that makes sense, right? It's the holiday season and the end of the year. A lot of speculation about if Trump will have any headwinds when he takes office in January. So anyways, enough of the tea leaf reading here. Let's grab our tick charts, because tick charts are going to give you the most important information. Now, you'll notice right away in the tick charts here, and again, this is a 4,000 tick chart here on the Nasdaq. There's one really big clue here on this tick chart right now. It's a bear move down into a trading range. Now, what do bear ranges do? They love to rotate off the high, and they want to rotate going lower. So we're sitting right there, right? We are literally right there. If these buyers don't get their act together, it's going to break that pendulum. And what's going to happen is the underbelly of this range is going to come in. They're going to whack that thing right back down and probably try to make our way back into that range right down we had before that CPI. That range down there, a lot of overlapping candles right there, a lot of volume piled up in that area. That's definitely a magnet like it is on the S&P right now. So a lot of similarities here between the Nasdaq and the S&P. If we wind up running lower, it's a pretty easy game plan, right? That same, don't chase after it. We're looking for those bull traps. Remember, low in price. The key to all traps is separation off that moving average, right? Get that separation off the moving average. When you get that separation, that lower low, that's going to be your bull trap entry, like I teach in the free video course. And then really at this point now, the goal is to bounce up and short back down again, because anytime we see a lot of momentum like that, it's almost a guarantee we're going to go back and retest that low before we make our way back up and kind of resume the overall, big move going higher here. I mentioned earlier that I'm not a huge fan of picking that bottom down there just because we're so bearish overall, and it can be difficult to pick that bottom, especially if it's grinding and going lower. How would you, though? How would you pick that bottom? Well, first of all, it has to be a bear trap, a technical bear trap pattern, which means the bears try once, the bears try twice. Now, pay attention to this one. It needs to be a technical bear trap. If you're in my free video course right now, you should know the difference between a failure pattern and a bear trap pattern. A failure pattern, if I go lower, a failure pattern has me buying above that high. You're basically buying into stops of those sellers. But what's the problem with that? The problem with that is you have all of that momentum. Why is it a big clue? Because as it goes higher, there's a good chance we hold the underbelly of that range Anybody who buys into it could potentially now be walking right into a bull trap for a run back down again. Make sense? That's a very difficult trade to take when we're this bearish. I don't care how bullish we are on the hourly chart, right? So as we go lower here, I don't hate the idea of this, but again, it's going to be more aggressive entry on this. I want to trap the bears in once, twice. Now watch closely. I need to be getting in on this. I need to be in on this before it goes higher. I need to be taking my one-to-one target before I get to that area. That way, if I stop moved up, get rid of that risk. Then if it rolls over, okay, I'm at least protected on that, right? Big difference. Very small difference, but very big difference, right? One has me buying as low as possible. The other has me buying as it's going higher. That is the difference between a trap and a failure pattern, and it makes a big difference to avoid losses in this situation. Again, because it's so strong in that situation, it's going to want to hold the underbelly here. These buyers will come in, chase after it, 1, 2. Again, these are failure patterns, right? We can be more aggressive on the failure pattern entry because we're so bearish in that scenario, right? Momentum wants to go back and take out that low. It's that failure pattern going lower. And again, if we're lucky, we'll get an add-on with that failure into a bull trap combination, right? And now, again, whoever sells up here, their profit targets are where? Down here, okay? This is the last place you want to sell. That means anybody who sells right there is asking to get their number called. 1, 2. I made this mistake so often as a rookie. Probably why I'm a good teacher of this now, because I remember these mistakes I made as a rookie. Squeeze those stops running higher. And again, the markets want to go back and take out that high. That is that same breakout pullback situation or scenario we talked about earlier on the S&P. Again, as we go lower, got to be careful. And in my point of view, that's a half size position, a quarter size position. Again, it is a more aggressive entry there. And again, pop up, failure, breakout, pullback into that retest, double bottom, going from there here. Now, at the same time, on the Nasdaq right now, if we get a big bounce, right? Let's say we don't. Let's say we don't go lower here, right? It seems like we will, but who knows, right? I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, right? If we do bounce up higher here, where do I buy this right now? Nowhere. Where do you buy something like that? You can't buy that because now I buy the pullback right here. My risk is here. But yeah, this is horrible, right? You can't buy right there. It's also a bear range. Again, find that trend line, right? Find that pendulum. Find those areas of resistance up there. Walk up. Number 2. Anytime we see a big move, a pullback, a retest of that high. So not only is it a bad spot to be a buyer, but anybody who buys down here, they're taking their profit up here. So it makes no sense to chase this higher. It makes a lot more sense to trap the buyers in up here who are not watching my videos, trap those bulls in, squeeze those stops. And I'll tell you, remember, double tops, double bottoms are oftentimes where the best trades come from. We saw a beautiful this morning in the trade room, right? Run down, double bottom. Again, didn't go back to the highs we wanted to. It rolled over, but those double bottoms are great spots. Double tops are great spots here. So we run back up, 1, 2, failure pattern. And again, as we're going lower, it's always going to be failure first into trap combination. Second, leave that runner. If you can get into something like this tomorrow, you better leave that runner, right? Pendulum back down again. Whew! That is a great trade. Could be a month maker for us tomorrow morning, right? Again, leave those runners. The final scenario now is if it goes sideways here and we start going to a range down here, right? And now remember, I don't know where the range will be here, but I do know though is if we go into a range down here on Friday, now we have 2 ranges, okay? The first range, or the most recent range, is the magnet. Okay, ranges act like magnets. Take that free video course I mentioned earlier. It will change your life when you learn about how ranges work. That range is a magnet. That range is a breakout pullback. Okay, these are really big money makers. You get these because now I can wait for a breakout higher. I can trap those bulls in, failure pattern. I can be more aggressive on this because we're so momentum is so bearish right now. Failure pattern. And again, broken record, I know I apologize, but this is trading, right? Trading is repetition. Trading is pattern recognition and repetition, right? Trading is repetition, repetition, repetition. Some folks love it, some folks don't love it, but we don't look for variety. I'm not looking for new ideas. I know what works. Keep on working them. That failure pattern, in a trap pattern going lower. And again, the reason why these can be very lucrative is because the amount above that range, the amount below that range, right? That is a gorgeous spot for a final target if we do go sideways here into that range. One more thing to keep in mind too is if we go into a range here, this will also apply to the S&P as well. If we go range bound down here and we go lower first, and it bounces back up, now you know, right? Measure the amount below, the amount above. Oh, baby, baby. That is a beautiful spot for a bull trap because this will feel so bullish. That rotation off the low will feel so bullish, but you know what's going to happen, right? It'll try to keep going, but those bulls will quickly run out of bullets there. There's a good chance it runs right back into that range again. Same, basically it's a bull trap pattern. It's a buyer failure as it rotates back around again. So watch that little fake out breakout if we do go sideways, right? That range we saw this morning, right? At fake out breakouts, mark off that low off the high, up, short it back down again. Same basic idea. As you can see, there's no shortage of ways to make money tomorrow. All depends now on what do we get, right? What do we get? A big blast up, the game plan's ready. A grinder down, the game plan is ready. Go sideways on Friday, bring it on. The game plan is ready, boy. That's the game plan now for tomorrow. Now, speaking of tomorrow, the place to be, Trade Room, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Guys, the easiest way to make money in these crazy markets, come out and do it with us every morning at the opening bell. I'm going to put all the important links you'll need, the description of the video tonight. Definitely start first on the free video course. Most folks start making money on their own with the free video classes. Enjoy all those trade examples. Then come join us in the Trade Room, 8 o'clock Eastern time, and we'll do it together every morning at the opening bell. In the meantime, guys, have a very Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, a Happy New Year. Be safe out there. Be well. Be nice out there. Be here next time. Adios, amigos. Bye for now.